I'm hanging out with my mentors. Oops, hold on, public. I messed that all up.
It says you're live.
It does. Where you see that at? On your screen?
I can see live on the top left corner.
Yeah, it says live on mine too.
Okay, cool. All right. Sometimes it make sure it's good to go. Yeah, we're good. So go ahead. Dan,
We
you
were just
saying what?
we were just talking about. I'm not sure what you want to discuss. We were just talking about our wives, right? And my wife sends
We're
me an
live now.
email.
We're live.
Yeah, my wife sends me an email. This happened a few months ago. She sends me this email with a list saying, "Hello, Mr. Borrero. This is Mrs. Borrero. At such and such address, and these are the items that I find need to be taken care of and repaired." So now my office is upstairs, right? So I come down for dinner, and I said, "Well, why would you send me such an email?" She says, "Well, I figured I'd address these repairs like your tenants do, because your tenants get repairs done within 24 hours." She goes, "I've been asking for this stuff for the last 2 months." It's like,
Ooh,
That's when you tell her I promised to repair it. I didn't tell you when. There's no need to
well,
remind me every 6 months. I know.
that's below
that
the
wasn't
belt.
my response. I actually brought two of my guys over, took them off the job like that week, and took care of everything at once.
That's it below the belt. I gotta be a
Yeah.
10-year-old just to get something fixed around here.
I gotta tell you, that was a good one though. I couldn't stop laughing about
Yeah,
that one.
that's a good
Yeah.
one.
You
Uh,
trained her well, my brother.
yeah, I don't know about that.
She
I
training
think she
you.
got me trained well. I took care of it that week.
You,
I
you
would
see
too.
how he answered that question, though, right, Chris?
I would too.
That one
Smart
was
man.
that was diplomatic.
Round up. I'm with my mentors with Dan, Dan and David Borrero. We're gonna leave you with some quick. Well, matter of fact, one quick tip. We've been talking for about an hour now. A lot of stuff that's privy to. We're going to be rolling out another mastermind meeting with. I mean, where can you hang out with multimillionaires that kind of own a bunch of property around the country? And I just honor these guys' opinions. So every time I talk to them, I get a nugget. And now, as we were signing off, I'm like, man, you just Dan, David. I'm sorry. My mission to raise your financial literacy through real estate investing and entrepreneurship. Dan, let's start with Dan. You had that list. Just blew my mind of this list, my friend. We're talking about.
So we were talking about literally trying to fight for time on a daily basis, right, to accomplish our goals for that day. And my whole thing is, um, if I don't literally do my to do things list the night before, my day is all screwed up the following day. So I literally write everything down, because in between all our phone calls and emails, it's really easy to get distracted and not accomplish the things that have to be taken care of first. So Chris was showing me his book. You may want to show him that book, Chris, because I
I'll
thought
go
that
now.
was really organized.
Do
But
yours first,
I'm
and
not as
then
organized as Chris. So I take scrap paper like this the night before, and I'm up to like my third page now, right? And I'm lucky if I get through 2/3 of this. But without that, I don't stay on course because there's a lot of distractions through the day. My brother and Chris are a lot more organized than I am in
Well, I'm not
reference
too
to.
much organized. I just have sheets that kind of just get scratched off, and we just keep going. But I did start a new one, ironically, this morning, and I only have that. So
that's
that's is clean,
that looks good, Dave. That looks good.
pretty clean. But
Unlike mine, mine's are like all scrap, see, with lines crossed off as they get taken care of.
How do you keep up with the paper, Dan?
It's the first. My desk, I make sure it's clean every night, and if it means I don't leave my desk until my brother will tell you I'm sending him emails at midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning.
So you
Um,
go. Your thing is you do the list. You go through that list. Come hell or high water. You're gonna get finish that by the end of the day.
before
Oh,
I
bad.
put my head on my pillow, my list is accomplished.
That's
Even
sharp.
if even if it means I don't go to bed until 1 in the morning.
Mm.
Um, but I sleep harder because I know my list is accomplished. If that
Gotcha.
makes any sense.
Dave, how about you, Dave?
I mean, I try to get through the list as much as possible, and like we're on a phone, in this conference call, you just keep adding to that list, and although you cross things off, you still sometimes end up at the end of the day with a longer list than what you started with. So
For the
unlike my
following day.
brother,
Wow.
I try to accomplish what I had set for the day.
Mhm.
Although at the end of the day, I might have a new list for the next day.
Wow.
But it's just there's only so much time in the day, as efficient as you might be throughout that day. Sometimes you end up with a list for tomorrow as well. But that's also part of the goal, right? To continue the next day on with more and more work. You know.
Roundup, if you're just joining us, hanging out with Dan and David Borrero, real estate investors in Brooklyn and in Florida. I'm just honored to hang out with you. I mean, it's an honor, my brother. So we're talking about habits. You see, those two dudes have their paper. Every successful entrepreneur I know, they have some type of a booklet or papers, as Danny has mine. You can see mine is crazy too. And if I have to draw, if I have more stuff, I can turn the page on mine. But the good thing about mine is it just fits right there, and we're gone. So I can keep going to the next spot and keep filling out like y'all are continuing to fill out. When did you start keeping lists? Because I feel like every winner has a book or some type of paper.
I started and I had a difficult time through my educational process, and I quickly realized that if I wanted to achieve any academic success, I had to be more organized than the rest, and that's what my list started. I can't speak for my brother, but
Dave?
I mean, I fought the fight against my brother on creating a list and thought I could keep it all up here for so long. But as I grew older, I realized it's get on it, and you need that list. You just can't remember it all. As you grow and process and everything else, it's just literally impossible. I used to tell my brother, I'm like, what do you mean you don't remember that? I mean, I remember dates, how much we paid for properties 10 years ago and who we sold it to 5 years after. And I would say to him, you don't remember that? He's like, no, that's why I write it down.
Mm.
But
yeah,
now
that's always what I'm saying. I don't need to
down.
remember;
It's
it's written down.
literally impossible for me to remember everything.
Yeah, I mean, with
So
the hundreds of, how could you remember hundreds of transactions and the doors and the tenant rent? So
no, it's impossible. I used to remember tenants' names. Now they're just tenants. I don't remember their names unless I have to.
yeah,
And I look up their name from whatever process we have or issues we might have, and I have to address them, and then I would look up their name. But it's almost like compartmentalizing everything in your brain and saying, "This I don't need to remember that. I don't need to remember this. I'll remember that."
you know, it's written down. Let me ask you, sometimes I'll be driving to a house that I own or have to write something down. I'm like, I don't even remember the address to my own house.
Yeah, that
Am I
happened.
talking? Am I talking to somebody?
Yeah.
Oh my God! I just called for air duct cleaning. I was just talking to the lady for an air duct cleaning in one of our units. And she said, "Well, what's the address?" And I was like, "I probably should know that, but let me look it up." She goes, "Don't you just told me you own it?" I'm like, "I do, but I have to look it up." And
Yep.
she just didn't get it. She thought I was lying. I'm like, "Hold on a second." I look it up. Look it all up. Go through the files. I'm like, "Yep, this is the one."
Wow.
She's like, "So you're sure this is it?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm sure." She goes, "Well, how could you be sure if you didn't even know you own it?" I'm like,
Wow.
"I promise you, this is the right unit."
Nice. Round up. This is some of the issues that I just wanted to bring. I asked them if I could go live with y'all, but that book thing, the thing today I wanted to share with you was lists, and we have a to-do list. I won't go into what we discussed today, but we're cooking up some good stuff for you guys for 2020.
Listen, just one last thing.
Go ahead, man.
For anyone that's looking to be successful, I don't know any successful entrepreneur, doesn't matter what business they're in, that doesn't create goals for themselves on a daily bit. Of course, you have your monthly goals, your quarterly, your annual, even 5 and 10 year goals, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you can't achieve those goals without having a daily goal. And that goal is your things to do list, right? That's what keeps you literally focused on the course and on the road, that no matter what distractions come in the middle of the day or during the day, and if you don't have distractions on a daily basis, then you're not making a lot of money, because that's part of the course.
They'll pop up.
Right. But that thing to do list
Very good
has
point.
to get done for you to continue to have those distractions and make money.
You guys want to share one thing that you or do you have one thing that you will possibly do differently in 2020? My mind doesn't really focus on like years like that. I'm just like, if I want to change it, I'm gonna do it now. And I'm presuming you guys are probably the same way. But is there anything in 2020 that you wanted to say that I'm focused on X?
I
Well, I
think
know what
I'm
I'm.
personally focused more
What
on
about
the
David?
process and systems is what I would hope to get
Scaling.
stabilized better throughout 2020 is what I'm kind of focusing on.
So it sounds like you want to do more scaling to take yourself out
Scaling,
of
exactly.
doing a lot of stuff.
Yes.
So are you of the mindset that you can do it better than most people? Because my mentor used to say, Chris, if you hire somebody, the most you're going to get out of them is 80%. What do you think about that?
I think 80 is high.
He's
I
high.
think I think if you can get 80% out of an employee is
The
great.
most, he said, the most.
Yeah, that would be the most. I mean, that's but
Yeah, but just to say something on that, my brother and I have developed a system where we don't have employees. We have people that get paid strictly on productivity. So we find that those people that are getting paid strictly on productivity give you everything they have, because
Yeah.
essentially they're not dependent on you to make the money for them and then pay them. They're dependent on themselves.
Mhm.
So it's all 1099'd out.
Yeah.
For that reason,
consulting basically.
right? I'm not paying somebody to come in and look at their Facebook page while they're on my time. But getting back to your question, our focus is right. Having better procedures and processes, and at the same time, my brother and I, David, we really want to concentrate in giving back to the investor community. We've been very fortunate. We had some mentors that we were able to watch. My father being one of them.
Wow.
In business, although my father wasn't really in the real estate business, he dabbled in it. Our uncles that were grocery store owners, they didn't. We get from them. Their mentorship was more, work habits, right, and discipline
It's big.
and focus. But we were also fortunate enough to have some older guys that gave us their opinion and advice when we asked for the real estate business. The internet really was non-existent back then. But we're now in a position where we want to give back to the investor community, and that's why a lot of our content, most of it's going to be for free.
Good.
So
Okay. Oh, I got. Let me see. I don't know. Yeah, I don't have time for questions. Hey, guys, thank you so much. Roundup. I just wanted to share with you who I promise you. I'd like to talk to people that have more money than me, some people that have been doing things longer than me, people that have more real estate. These are the guys that I call when I have, we share ideas. The main thing I need from these two gentlemen here are the ideas. I don't care about anything else. I mean, obviously you treated me like a king when I come up there, but your ideas.
I'll tell you, man, I'm glad we got to meet up back at the conference. That was an unbelievable experience for all of us, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Roundup. I'll see y'all soon. We will be bringing you some more stuff with Dave and Dan in the near future. Talk to y'all soon.
Take care, Chris. Bye-bye.